Yeah, 16, right? Good luck. Oh, we played a couple of times before. If you see anybody like that, when you hover over the profile on the platform generally, if you see your score then click it, it'll bring up the games that you've played. So we have played before. We can do a reti opening, which is C4. We can just play a normal D4 game. That's the more modern way of playing a reti, but I'll just switch to a D4 game. Now, opponent has done nearly 8,500 games of rapid. That's very good. Let's just develop. Maybe do a London structure for this one. I'm not sure. Let's just see. Yeah, let's bring our bishop up and look to castle. We could actually take the knight there. It's a move as well, but we just want to get castles, then come up with a plan, worry about what to do. Now, equally, we can take there. We can drop back. We can just leave the bishop where it is. All playable moves. I'm going to just leave it where it is this game. Move the rook across. Okay. So we're not going to get opposite bishops this game. We've got both our light squared bishops left. So knight up is a very natural move here. He won't want to take and bring our pawn forward, but we could actually potentially push here. He'll have to move his knight, I'm guessing. If we take, bishop takes, maybe we've got to move like bishop up. That looks annoying for black, doesn't it? Let's play it. He's played the knight back, but either way there's going to be a pin. Don't have to take this move, and he can't castle now because of the way he's put that. I wonder if I should try and blast the centre here then. That's a little bit risky because it opens things up for our opponent. How do we put pressure on though? I don't quite see. Take, knight takes here. He's going to castle. C4, if you take, we take here. It frees up this knight though, doesn't it? It does. Let's just develop our knight then. I don't see how to make further progress, but that doesn't mean we can't. But worst case, we can just take, our opponent can take back, they'll get castled. Could be fine, could be perfectly fine. They've got to figure out where that king's going. But how else do we make progress? C4 might have been the better move there. We'll check after the game, but it felt a little bit risky, like it was opening things up for black a little bit. What can I do? Oh, he's played queen out, so that could be a pawn to leave hanging. I've got knight here though. Attack the queen, guard the pawn, and I can jump in over and hit this pawn. Actually, I like the look of that. Let's not think too long. I can always protect the knight by pushing this pawn, but I can go in here as well, threaten to take. So take, say you take, we've got knight in. If you castle, we just take, bishop takes. It's maybe playable for our opponent, maybe. But here, if you push now, can we sack the knight? Take here. And we just take, king takes. That's a bit bold. It's a bit bold, but I'm going to play it anyway, see what black does. Probably this, probably. Let's see. So is knight sack a move here? Takes, takes. I don't think it quite is. I do have knight here. Bishop takes, bishop takes. We might be getting trapped. Let's just drop back. C4 feels more playable now because these pawns have moved. So I like the idea of C4 now. You might have to even play a move like queen across or knight back and across just to break this pin. He's played bishop there. He wants to castle, so we can maybe chuck this pawn, or we can go here. It's got to be c4 on it. Let's play a c4. So we're threatening to take here, and if he goes this way, we create a pin immediately. So you might have to go this way, but it's got to be right to open this file for our rook and then chuck a pawn here. I guess he should go here. We've got knight in to pressure this pawn and hit the two rooks. I guess he's got bishop back to that, but we'd threaten this. I like the idea of knight up as well. It just looks like a nice move, doesn't it? But if he gets back, it frees up his knight. What about just chucking here? Then if we go here, here, I can throw a check in as well, but it puts him across. I'm just going to chuck the pawn at the board and see what he does. I'm a minute down on the clock. That's very common in my rapid games. I'm often a little bit slow to start the games, then we try and quicken up. Okay, so can we sack there? Let's move the rook across first. So we threaten a move like bishop up. We threaten a potential sacrifice, and it actually is a potential sacrifice now. Ooh, can we do it? I'm just looking at queen up. Takes, he still covers though. Rook up, takes, knight here doesn't quite work, I don't think. Knight up, he goes back. Where's the knockout blow? I just don't see it. Okay, let's just play queen up then, just preparing a potential sacrifice here or here. I don't actually see it. It might not work for us, so he's just guarding that. Oh, now I've got rook up here maybe. Hit the pawn and pin the bishop. So is rook up a move? Say you play queen back. If we take, we might well be trapped, right? Say queen across. We'll have to sack the rook, but it looks like a move. Knight up is just safer, isn't it? It's just safer. Let's play knight forward. I think he'll play back and free up his knight if he can. I think that's what he'll do. I might be letting him unwind his position here slightly. It's a tricky, but we might be going slightly wrong. I've got bishop here as well, threatening to take. Say he goes back. Yeah, bishop up looks strong here. If he goes back here, he might have to push. Then bishop takes, say he plays rook takes. We can try and take here and chip it open. I'll just boost the audio a little bit. My hearing's not very good. I'm hard of hearing, so sometimes I don't realise it's my move. So he's gone for counterplay here. Logically, sacking a pawn, but do we go with the rook? Take, bishop, and we're just simply threatening to take and crash through. Bishop takes or knight takes. Bishop takes, rook takes with a nasty discovery. That's got to be right, hasn't it? I'm going to risk it. It's got to be right to go with the rook and put pressure on here. I mean, he's got knight there, but I think we can just take immediately with a bishop. If bishop takes, rook takes, we're protected by the knight. You've got to move the queen somewhere, but then that's... No, we want to take with a knight, not the bishop. So knight here will have to drop back, I think. Yeah, we'll have to spend a move dropping back. We might lose this pawn, but we'll pressure this one. So knight here, if knight takes, I think he's fine to take the bishop. But if bishop takes, we lose that power of the pin. Bishop takes, say rook takes, maybe he can just simply move his king. No, he has to move the queen, doesn't he? He has to move the queen, but the pin isn't on the diagonal with the bishop is what I'm trying to say. So knight here, I think we drop back. We maybe sack the pawn, but then we're threatening to simply take. Knight check, pawn takes, I don't see a way through there. Oh, what am I doing? Knight goes here, doesn't it? I'm confusing myself. I'm really confusing myself. The knight's restricted. He can't play the knight there to attack the bishop. So we're threatening to take with the knight now. He's going after this. We're threatening knight takes. Knight here. Oh, can I take the bishop now? Gain a bishop, lose a knight, and just check. Takes, takes, king takes. And I've got queen and knight. It'll be a queen versus two rooks. That's actually balanced. That's balanced. I swap a minor piece for minor piece, but then I'm going to swap a bishop and rook for a queen. But I've given up the exchange, haven't I? But that's difficult to win. That's difficult to win. So if I take with the knight now, I'm threatening a discovered check. And the king can't easily escape. But it could be better to just take here. Take, take. Check, takes, takes, king takes. But then suddenly I've only got a queen against two rooks. Yeah, I don't like that. But it might be the same if I do this then. Takes, bishop takes. I'm committed to have to take actually, aren't I? I might have nothing better. Oh boy, I might have to do this. But pawn up is a move as well. But I hang my knight. I'm going to... Well, I don't want to, but I think I have to. I think I might have gone wrong here actually. I think he's found a defense. I thought I could just do this safely. I don't think I can because he can play a rook across. So what do I do? What do I do? Here, if he takes, I can still take with a check, but it collapses. I'm going to have to take. I'm going to have to play the queen versus two rooks, but that's actually might be better for black. Might be better for black. I think he'll take. We can check, trade everything off, but his king looks safe. I can march a pawn and give the knight a square, but I've got my own back rank issues to deal with. I think he's fine here. It might be winning for black, this. Might have gone wrong. Might have gone wrong. Let's just see. It's once you get the rooks active, that's the problem. If you get the two rooks centered and then you're getting doubled up on the same file, the queen really might be stuck trying to deal with them. I'll have to give myself an emergency square as well. But I think you should take. I think you should take and go for it. I don't think you can do much else. But I don't have a further follow-up. Oh, he hasn't taken. He hasn't taken. Well, surely I just come back then. Or I can just take here now. But I've kept my extra piece. Yeah, that should be winning now. Oh, hold on. If I take here, though, he can then take, right? If I check here, he can come across and guard. Oh, does it not quite work then? Here? I've still gained a piece, so I'm good. I can just drop the knight back. Rook takes. If he takes my knight then, it's the same thing. I can check and he can come across. And he can still win the extra piece. So maybe knight back. Let's play knight back then. We're threatening to come here and hit the 2. The knight guards this pawn. I've got to give my king an emergency square at some point so I don't blunder the back rank. I'm down to 3.5 minutes. The time has vanished. He's got that minute and a half. He needs to use it. So you probably play a move like rook across. And then can we clatter through? I mean, I'm threatening bishop takes. Then if rook takes, then rook takes. Then if everything trades off, that would be good. So rook over, we're just threatening the simple rook takes or bishop takes with a check on the diagonal. My knight guards the back rank rook. Oh, he's played forward for the queen trade. Oh, that should be good for me then. Take, take, check, just whip the rook. And we're up materials, so that should be good. So we can just take and take there. Okay, so we can check. King up, if he goes back, we can take here. We should be good now, barring something silly, but silly things happen. I'm just going to give my king the emergency square now so I don't blunder the back rank. This pawn might be lost. He's played knight forward. I'm just going to check and go after a pawn here. Get my rook active. So take. Knight guards that one. Don't know if I can get away with pushing this. If his rook wanders off somewhere, knight here threatening checkmate is a plan. But my king's got that all-important emergency square. Now he's gone to guard the pawn, but now knight across, the king's in a box, right? Is there any forcing line? I don't see it, but knight here, I think he has to go back. The king can't escape. So we're now threatening mate in 1. I think he has to play rook back, and we can just munch another pawn, I think. Or maybe we can just take here. Is that checkmate as well? It might be a double checkmate threat that we stumbled into. I didn't see that until I played the move. That's checkmate. Yeah, he's really unlucky, isn't he? But a really interesting game, though. Very good. Very good, interesting game. Let's see what it was in engine speak and see if we messed up somewhere there. 31 moves. They're the move times for both players. That game's a little bit sharper than my average game. But let's just see if we've got any mistakes and blunders anywhere, or if we've actually managed to convert it. Not bad. Felt like I played pretty well for my level. So did my opponent for his level. So 90% against 83 on the accuracy. Yeah, I've not got any blunders there. Not many bad moves. A little bit up and down as you would expect. Games, but all the opening's been played well by both of us. I'm just playing a normal d4 game here, but it gets a little bit sharper, like I said, than my average game. So pawn push was good there. Knight c3 was good, rather than playing c4. Knight a4 good, c5 good, but I should have gone in here. I briefly looked at that move, didn't I? But I thought after takes and takes, there's always a risk we might get trapped. So I ruled that one out, but it was the right move, and they were the correct moves to play. Oh, g6 is the move here, because the king's still in a bit of bother. Okay, so after b5, though, there must be a reply, like maybe a4, and we're not getting actually trapped, but... Okay, so I should have gone there, but bishop d7 was a blunder. c4 was then good. Castling was a mistake, but I should have played the knight forward here. Again, I looked at that, but I saw bishop back to guard, and it just lets the knight out. So I ruled that out, but we should have played knight there. Bishop back, then c5. Okay, knight forward, we tripped. So we don't try and win the pawn here, which we ended up doing in the game. We just try and rip the king's defences open. Okay. But a4 was good here. Rook c1 was good. And again, I should have played that knight forward. I was just struggling to come up with a little bit of a plan here. So I was just trying to prepare a potential sacrifice just in case. And he's overguarded it there because the queen actually guards that as well as the pawn. Now knight e5 was good. It was good to take with a rook. And here, yeah, I should have just pushed the pawn instead of taking the bishop. So I'm 5.6 better here. Taking the bishop, I'm still +4 better, and he should have just taken. He should have just taken. So queen takes, bishop takes. This was the line that we were looking at. And then it's just basically a knight each and a queen versus 2 rooks each, but it's +4 better for us. So it is better for white. I'll have to give myself an emergency square at some point. You activate a rook, threaten checkmate. We played g3. You activate the knight. We drop a knight calmly back. You activate your other rook. And this is where it looks rather more difficult to try and find a win. You can see it's still much better for white, but it's a lot more difficult to try and convert now, especially if we get low on time. But with queen d6 here, we've effectively got that extra piece that we've just won. So knight e5 was good. The queen trade in this line I played was good. h3 was good timing. Rook check was good. And then I've just stumbled across this mating net here when he's gone across it. Is the forced checkmate. And I only realised once I've seen this mate I thought you go back guard, and then I've realised we've got the mate threat here as well. The king can't move anywhere. So we've got a nice checkmate. But for my level and my games that I normally play, it's a very good, interesting game, and it's very good and well done to our opponent there. Not a bad effort.